Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bideo. It is some sort of date. The 21st of February in 2019. And right now I've got Steve and Nick. And Dan will be in here later. But to start, Steve, what have you been up to outside of the video games?
Um, like in life, I think I've mostly just been working, which I think is kind of what I usually just say every time we record a podcast.
I'm pretty sure
But
that's like what we all do.
yeah, I'm honestly not sure that a whole lot interesting has gone on in my life that is not games related, because mostly just games. Um, so I'm gonna say life's good, nothing new. How about Nick?
Hey, I've also just been working. Um, I have a vacation 2 weeks coming up that I'm pretty pumped for. Hoping to play more video games. But last weekend I started talking to a lady, so that's pretty new.
Is it the first one that you've ever met before?
First one.
Hmm. You know, this is a gaming podcast, and people tend to make certain assumptions about gamers. And if you don't stick up for yourself, people will apply those stereotypes to you.
And he's gone. Won't defend
Yeah,
himself. And then what happened, Nick?
that's all that one happened. It's new. It's fun.
You don't want to talk about rocks?
Oh, I forgot about the rocks. So, and then last night, I woke up with lots of pain, and I had kidney stones. So it's been a
Boo.
week. How you doing, Noah?
Uh, Dude, honestly, almost the same as Steve. Like, pretty much nothing big has happened outside of video games. I'm pretty sure there's something, but
Nick, how did you find out that you had the kidney stones? While Noah's thinking of what happened in his life, were you woken up in the middle of the night with an excruciating pain? Describe what it feels like so that if I ever get them, I know what I have.
So, so I did have them before once, and I wasn't sure what it was, but and it was just a pain that kept getting worse. So eventually, like in the middle of the night, I'd be like, "Hey, mom, I need to go to the hospital because this sucks." Which is kind of what happened yesterday. Luckily, um, I'm still staying with my folks while I'm searching for a house, but I woke up in the middle of the night, thought I had a stomach ache. Um, so I'd tried to go into the bathroom, but then it kept getting worse and worse. And it kind of just felt like a strong pain, like a stabbing pain, like in your side, and it like is very clearly like where your kidney is. So, um, and then it keeps getting worse and it doesn't go away, and it's pretty excruciating. So like, you can't do much. So you'll probably know if that happens. You'll be like Ben in Parks and Rec, where he's thinking he's having twins.
Okay. One of like one of my great irrational fears in life, because I like never go to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor. I am very much like a just ignore your problem until it goes away because you probably won't die. But like, despite that, one of my irrational fears is that one day I will have something like appendicitis, um, or whatever, kidney stones or whatever it might be, where if you don't go to the doctor, it gets seriously complicated or kills you, and that I will ignore it until it's too late. So I need to be reassured that it is a pain that I will absolutely know cannot be ignored.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll be crying practically. So
Can I text you a picture if I'm ever not sure?
like here's a picture of my side. Here's the color of my tears. Let me know.
If it's kidney stone, here's another picture, a specific one.
All right, nothing happened in my life. I only
Nothing.
played games.
I stalled so much time for you.
I know, I thought, and there was nothing.
I mean, life is games, right? Like, why are you trying to pretend like you invested more or that your portfolio of dividends is up? Like, who cares?
Okay, like, the weather is a thing. It snowed a lot. When
That's very true.
when
Ugh,
schools
that is true.
close, I get a $25 bonus for showing up, so that's nice.
Well, that's nice, man. You know what happens when schools close? I just get really mad at Leah that I still have to go to work. Like, schools close, but universities don't close. So I always feel like I'm so close to getting a day off, but then I don't, and I have to leave, and Leah just stays in bed, and I get irrationally angry at her.
Oh, well, it is her fault.
A lot of stuff is. I should not badmouth her too much because she is bringing me a burrito.
It's very nice of her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was taco bar day at work where people brought in stuff to make tacos and such, and I actually made it to one of those. Usually by the time I get there, all the food is gone. Somebody made homemade guac, and it was delicious.
Well, taco potluck sounds delicious right now.
It was amazing. But let's talk about some games. Nick, since your game is from last week, or last podcast, we'll let you go first. This is old business.
This is old business. I've been kind of slow this last couple weeks. So I've just been kind of chugging along slowly on Kingdom Hearts, and right now I'm in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, doing my Black Flag ship battles and stuff.
Okay, wait. Before we continue, spoilers for anyone who isn't this far in Kingdom Hearts 3. We're going to talk about at least where the farthest behind guy is now.
I would say we will talk about all of the Disney-themed worlds as the cutoff point.
Yeah, and I don't think for most people, like, knowing that those worlds exist is like a spoiler, because like they teased most of that stuff beforehand.
They had, what, 12 years to do it?
Yeah. So my gaming week has been pretty slow. I did also I was in the mood for like a hack and slash, so I played a little bit of the first Torchlight.
Oh, interesting.
Is that the one that is that or Magica, the one that is by the former Diablo devs? The Torchlight is, right?
Yep, it's Torchlight.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to play something that was just like on my laptop, and I was like, oh, that seems like a good one to install. Click around in for a while.
People weren't happy that you couldn't play multiplayer in that. They brought it back in 2, but you could not play with other people in the first Torchlight, which is a weird decision to make for one of those types of games.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they just didn't have the budget or the time or just didn't want to. But
Are you liking it?
it's good for what it is. It's just Diablo, and it's a loot fest, so it like scratches that itch. It is kind of dated. Like the graphics are a little clunky and mechanics, and it's not a super complicated game mechanically, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, I liked it too, because like I guess I didn't need to play with others, but I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was fun enough to actually beat and play through.
Yeah, same here. Like I'm not a big on playing with other people in those kinds of games. Like I just want to run through and kill monsters.
Steve, did you ever play any of the Torchlights, or did you look them up or anything?
I knew about the first Torchlight, but only like insofar as I knew the name and maybe would have recognized screenshots when it was first coming out. I heard it was good, and I knew it was by the ex Diablo devs, but I never really checked it out. So I don't know like what sets it apart from Diablo, or if it really is just like here's more Diablo by another name. I'm not sure.
All right. Anything else, Nick? You got any other video games? You've used up
That
2 minutes.
that was the extent of my video games.
So sad.
I know.
Steve, you want to do some video game talk? Since that's your life?
This whole podcast is video game talk. But okay. What do I even start with? There's just so many choices. So, the game that I've been playing that I don't think anyone else here has played, so I'll go first with that one, is a game on the Switch called Save Me, Mr. Taco. Has anybody heard of this?
I've never heard of it.
Okay. It's by Nicholas, I think is the company. You'd recognize it if you saw the name. They did some other Switch ports and stuff like that. But this is it's on the Switch eShop, and it is designed to be an homage to like original Game Boy and original Game Boy games, like even down to the point where it has that kind of like pea soup colored green color scheme, and using the shoulder buttons you can change the color scheme between the ones that you used to be able to switch between if you put an original Game Boy game into a Game Boy Color. But the game stars this little octopus guy named Taco, and octopi, I guess, are at war with humans. It's like there's like an eternal struggle that constantly shifts the balance of power between the octopus race and the human race. And obviously in modern times the human race is winning because we all have civilization and stuff. And so the like octopus high council decides to send an army to like invade the humans. And this is all the story that's just on top of like this platforming Game Boy game. So it plays like a cutesy Game Boy platformer. Honestly, in a lot of ways it's pretty similar to like Kirby in terms of like the scale and sort of how it feels. Rather than absorbing enemies to get their powers, you find and collect hats either in levels or by doing side quests and stuff. And each hat gives you a special power. So like one hat will let you shoot an arrow, one hat will let you like use a spear, yada yada yada. And if you're not wearing a hat at all, you just shoot ink. And the levels are all really short because again it's themed after Game Boy stuff, and it's cool, but it's long. Like you expect it being an homage to a Game Boy game that you're going to pick it up and play it, and it's going to take you like I don't know, like 2 hours maybe, something like that. But I have been playing this game. I'm on like hour 8. And like they keep adding new layers of like political intrigue to the story where like the octopus, your brother is like a general in the octopus army and he allies with the queen to help overthrow the king of the humans, and then he double crosses the queen, and then you end up like joining a resistance army of the humans to help them even though you're an octopus, and like siding reluctantly with the queen because your goals line up. It actually is getting to the point where I don't understand the story. But
So wait, you're like
fun.
It plays like a Kirby, right? But like, how do the side quests work? Because you also said side quests.
So it does play like a Kirby in that you have like powers, and it's very much like a side-scrolling platformer like that. If you're not wearing a hat, the one like unique mechanic to this game is when you shoot ink on an enemy, they freeze in place. So you'll like ink an enemy and then jump on top of them to make a makeshift platform. But the side quests are like, I mean, they can vary. So there are towns that kind of function like the towns in Zelda 2, that are just like left to right with people walking around. And sometimes you'll be in a town and it'll be like, I'm playing hide and seek with these 5 kids, and if I find all 5 of them, I get a hat. Or sometimes it'll be like in one town, someone will give you a bow, and then 2 towns later, there'll be like a little girl who says, I really wish I could see a cute octopus. And you wear the bow and talk to her, and then she'll be like, oh, you're a cute octopus now. And then she'll give you a different hat. So it's mostly like fetch quests and delivery quests in the handful of towns that are in the game. But I guess if you're into the rambling mess of information I just said, it's worth checking out. Like, it is a charming, cool game. I do think that it's dragging its feet. Like, I am ready for this game to be done. When I popped it in or picked it up, I was like, oh, this is going to be a refreshing, fun little platformer. And now I'm like, man, 7 hours later, I do not care what happens in this story. I just want it to be over, and I don't think I'm even close to it being done yet.
You didn't realize what you were in for.
I did not. It was not good.
How much was it?
15, I think. It's either 15 or 20, but I think when I bought it was on sale. I think I bought it when it released, so I might have got it for like 12 or something like that. But it's 20 or less. And I think it's on Steam, too. You can look it up on Steam. Save Me, Mr. Taco. Taco is Tako.
Like the Japanese taco.
That's right. You're getting it. You've got brothers named Bako and Sako.
Spoilers.
So, yeah, I spent a lot of this last weekend playing that game. And it was cool. But I peppered that game, so I would mostly play Save Me, Mr. Taco, but I would every hour or so break it up with a few rounds of another one of the games that I've been playing a lot of, which is Tetris 99. Noah, did you pick up Tetris 99?
I did not. I have not touched my Switch in like months. I'm aware of what it is. I've seen it. I know all about it.
You need to get Tetris 99. Nick, you need to buy a Switch. I know you can afford it. Just go buy a stupid Switch. Play Tetris 99. Man, this has been a good... So, one, it's weird that since the last time we recorded a podcast, there are 2 free-to-play games that are both battle royales that I've been playing.
And didn't... Like, this one also was not, like, super announced or anything, right?
No, this one was a complete stealth launch. So, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct, which actually maybe we'll talk about a little bit later, because I think it would be cool to go through and hear what everyone was excited for if they watched the Direct, or run through the stuff that was announced and talk through it. Maybe. But they announced it during the Nintendo Direct, and they were just like, it'll be available after this Direct is finished. And it was immediately available for download. I guess I should explain what Tetris 99 is. It's a free-to-play Tetris battle royale game. So it's called Tetris 99 because there are 99 players playing competitive Tetris against one another.
Okay, before you go on, the way it's laid out is like how I wanted Tetris Effect to be cooperatively versus like a boss or something, you know? That's like what I thought of.
Like you wanted that to be like the raid?
Yeah, I wanted to see a bunch of other people playing Tetris while we whittled away HP of some sort of boss.
I could definitely see that working out. Because it is cool. So, yeah, the way he's talking about, the way it's laid out, there's a Tetris board in the middle. You're playing Tetris. It's regular Tetris. And then all around the left and right of the screen are 98 other players playing Tetris, and you're seeing their games of Tetris in real time. And you can, with one of the sticks, select one of those other 98 players to target. And then when you clear lines in your game of Tetris and you send junk lines to your opponent, it sends it to that person that you're targeting. And the idea is to not die and knock out other players to get as high as you can on the 99 player leaderboard. And there are like a couple of more complicated mechanics involving you getting the ability to throw more junk lines at your opponents based on killing more people that make it a little bit more interesting than that. But it is essentially just competitive Tetris. But it is so addicting. Like every time I play a game, I usually do terrible, and I am immediately pressing rematch and hopping into another game and playing again because it's just like so seamless and fun. And there's like never any wait to get into a game. There's always people playing it because it's so new, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Tetris 99 is really fun. It is. I think it's an incredible way to sell Nintendo online because like I didn't care about getting Switch's online subscription. I don't have Smash, and don't have a desire to play it online. I don't really care about Splatoon or ARMS or anything else. But as soon as I saw this, and I knew I had to have a subscription to Nintendo's Switch service to play it, I like without hesitation immediately went subscribe to it because I was like, "Yep, this is gonna be exactly what I want to play," and so far it has been. It is a ton of fun. Man, this is like... It's been good for Tetris lately.
I was just going to say, it's odd that there's been so much successful Tetris.
Like part of this too, it certainly doesn't hurt that this game came out not long after Tetris Effect, so I like have already been reacquainted with Tetris and I'm sort of already in the Tetris mindset. But yeah, it's like Tetris 99 and Tetris Effect are like so drastically different. Like it's crazy how varied Tetris has been. It's
They're
just
like
weird.
a yin and a yang of like one is cooperative and one is competitive.
They are like, yay for Tetris. So yeah, that has been like a lot of what I've been playing. And when I'm not playing Tetris 99, it's usually because I did bad for a couple rounds, and then I just give the controller to Leah, and Leah does way better than me because she's way better than me at Tetris. She got a first place finish after like, I don't know, it was only like 2 or 3 attempts, and she got a first place finish. It was absurd. And then I've only gotten 1 first place finish in the entire time I've been playing, and I only got that one because Leah was coaching me. She would like, as things were going really fast, she would remind me what piece I had in hold that would be like more applicable to a situation. I probably would have bungled it without her there. So
You're a cheater.
I'm more like using all my resources to achieve highest possible victory. To the victor go the spoils. Nice guys finish last.
No. Anyway, I was asking her if there's like an MMR or something, because I've seen a couple of streamers play. Like, I Eat Your Pie. He's not good at Tetris, and like, he came in like 3rd or something in one of the games I was watching, and he was like always near the top 10 at least. And then I'd watch Golden, and he was like so fast on the pieces, but like couldn't beat top 50 for a while. It's so weird. Like, you can be really good at Tetris and still lose.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you just get absolutely destroyed. Like, because you can target any players, and you can manually choose who you want to target, and then there are also a couple like predefined targets that you can choose. Like, you can tell the game, automatically target me to someone who is about to die so that I'll get the kill, or automatically target someone who's has a lot of badges, which just means that person is doing really well. So if like 5 people target you at the same time and they happen to clear a bunch of lines at once, your board can go from like completely clean to completely full of garbage lines like instant, and there's like not a whole lot you can do. So I don't think you could really ever win. Like, I don't think you could get to the point where you're good enough to win every game because there's just too much randomness involved. But maybe there's an MMR. I honestly Doesn't feel like there is based on my experience because it is so random, but maybe.
All right, are you gonna play it after the podcast?
Probably.
Because I have nothing to do after the podcast, and I was thinking about maybe playing it.
You should. The one thing I'll say about Tetris 99 that is a bummer is that it is very basic. Like, there is no other mode. There's no, like, extra content at all. You have a level, like, you get experience after you beat a match and you level up, but the levels don't do anything other than, like, they change the icon that you have in the final standings leaderboard. I don't think you can play with your friends. Like, I don't think you can play with people. So, you and I can't play together. You should still play it, but we just can't play in the same match together.
Well, does Tetris have like a... Or not Tetris, but does Nintendo have like a voice over IP thing? Or no? Because we could just talk and play.
I don't know if they do. If they don't, we can just, like, use Discord.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
It would be fun. You can chat with Leah and I as we destroy in Tetris. But, I mean, those are the two of the games I've been playing, and then the last one, I think, is one that I know you've been playing, and I'm curious to get your take on it, because I think you've actually been playing it more than I have, and that's Apex Legends.
See, I'm not sure I've actually been playing more than you, or if we've played about the same.
I haven't played since the last time you and I played together.
Okay, I've definitely played way more than you.
Yeah.
So what do you got to say about it?
Apex Legends is a ton of fun. It's like the biggest game right now, so I don't know how much explanation about what it is I need to say. But I guess it's like in the weird world where someone doesn't know, it's another free-to-play battle royale game made by the developers of Titanfall 2, made by Respawn. So it's in the Titanfall universe. It uses like some of the Titanfall guns, but it doesn't have anything to do with Titanfall. And yeah, it's a first-person battle royale game. You drop onto an island, you scavenge to find guns and armor. There's a circle that shrinks the playing area down to a smaller and smaller field until eventually you have a winning team. It's all team-based. It's all squads of 3. So it's 20 squads of 3 drop in. And I guess the other like kind of unique thing is that it has sort of hero characters. Like it's like Overwatch in that characters have unique abilities and passives and an ultimate and stuff like that. So that adds some variety to the game. But I could not believe how fun that game was. I felt so this year in particular, I'm trying not to be such a stick in the mud where normally anytime a new game comes out, I just ignore it because I don't ever want to play the new stuff because I'm not relevant. But I'm like, this year, I'll actually try new stuff as it comes out. I'll try not to be such a baby about it. And I tried Apex Legends, and it was a hoot. And I mean, I probably would have tried it either way because it's made by Respawn, and I absolutely love Titanfall 2. So it had a lot going for it. But yeah, I mean, it is a fun battle royale game. And that, I mean, the last time we had a gamer weekend, we tried Fortnite for the first time, which makes me sound really old. Like, old man tries Fortnite, old man reacts. But it did nothing for me. I did not like it. I did not want to play any more Fortnite after that day. But Apex Legends is like the battle royale game that I've been waiting for. Like, I can definitely see myself putting a ton of time into it. And I'll buy the battle pass when the battle pass comes out so that there's like goals to start working towards and stuff. And I think it's just going to be kind of like the default multiplayer game for a while. I don't know if there's anything more specific about it that you've picked up on or that you really like that I haven't already mentioned it at a high level.
Uh, Not really. Like as of right now, there's not a whole lot to the unlocking of the game. Everyone's pretty much just waiting for the battle pass. Um, because like there are two new heroes you can unlock with Apex dollars or whatever they are. The things, the legend tokens. That's it. That you get from just playing the game, and then everything else is kind of skins or whatever. So there's not a whole heck of a lot to work for, and you stop getting chests at level 50. So you kind of run out of rewards, but like when the battle pass comes out, then stuff will happen again. And I know people are already level 50 because people want to play the game all the time forever, including myself.
I mean, it has like just such an addictive quality to it. Like even though you'll spend 10 minutes looting and like creeping around just to get into a firefight and die, like it's so quick to start up another game. It feels so snappy that you never feel like, oh, what a bummer, I've wasted so much time and didn't get anything out of it. So
Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
it has a very good like sense of fluidity, and it has a good pace.
Yeah, because like each area definitely like always has guns. Well, that's not true, but most of the time things always have guns. But sometimes you open chests and you get like heavy ammo and then two body shields or something, and you're like not happy. But like I would be remiss if I were to simply praise the game and not criticize it also, because that is what I generally do. The PS4 version is not very stable for some reason.
Yes.
Me and Steve
So-
had
so
issues.
Nick came over and we were going to play together, like next to each other on TVs. And all night we could not get into a game together. It was so annoying. It was basically whatever person created the party would end up getting dropped out as soon as the game started to load in. I didn't notice any problems with the game like once you're in a game, but like getting a party of people together and keeping them in a party from match to match is like weirdly awful.
Yeah, generally, like I play with Joade and Ben, and then sometimes Joade and Pat, or sometimes Ben and Pat. I guess I play with those three people. Um, like every game or so, maybe every 2 games, like we'll all ready up, and then somebody will say, "Uh oh, this person's not loading in," and then it just will not take one of us for some reason. There's also when I first load Apex and it says like hit X to continue or to get into a game or whatever, I'll hit it and it'll be like you couldn't get in. Retry. Hit X to retry. So I'll have to like manually close the game and reopen it. So like their matchmaking, not the matchmaking, something like that. Something in their network code is not working because I cannot get into a game with my friends every single time reliably.
Having played on PS4 and PC, outside of like those connection issues, do you notice a drastic difference either in like the way that it plays or like the people that are playing it or anything?
People on PS4 are better than I think they are. I'm not sure if they can use mouse and keyboard, but like sometimes you absolutely get rocked and it feels weird. Cause like when I'm on PC, I feel like I stand a chance because like that's generally where I go for my first-person shooters. But with a controller, I feel like absolutely weak and terrible. Like I've noticed I miss a lot of shots and I have poor aim. But like other people they must be good on controller or something, man, because they kill me super fast.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do mouse and keyboard on PS4. I don't think you can.
I heard you couldn't, but then I also heard you could. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I guess I don't know. I don't want to spread misinformation. I didn't think you could, but it might be possible.
There might be games too that maybe block it or something.
Maybe.
Hmm.
So where do you generally like to drop?
Um, if I'm memeing, in the loot barge, but most of the time I don't have like a specific area that I like to drop. I just like to drop on one of the outside locations. So like the swamps, um, or Skulltown, things like that. And I tend to want to drop far away from the path of the dropping plane or whatever it is. I don't know. Um, I don't like to just like drop right into the thick of everybody and do the thing where you run and try to find a gun and shoot people unless I'm playing like for fun with you guys. If I'm playing by myself, I prefer to go far away and like meticulously creep in. Like I'd rather live longer in a game with less action than like just jump into the fray, shoot a bunch of people and die.
I so we sort of do the same thing. Um, we will drop in the outside. We'll make sure nobody followed us. We'll loot, and then we'll go very slow, and like loot on the way to the circle and stay hidden. And generally, we come in second. We can never beat the first place team ever. And then we'll be like, okay, that was a 25-minute game, so let's drop hot for 4 or 5 games and land on the loot barge. And usually somebody dies, and we just fight it out and have a lot of fun. And then we go back to a 25-minute game and rinse and repeat.
Yeah, that makes sense. Outside of when I'm playing with you, I'm always playing by myself, so I usually don't have people there to like goof off with, and like dropping hot on the loot barge with the intent to probably die is not fun if you're not playing with a squad of 3 people that you know.
Yeah, because like you're probably not on the same page as your team.
Yeah, and either like you die and it annoys them, or they die and then like you can't do any better anymore, so you just like wander alone until you get picked off by a squad of 3 with no one to talk to.
That
So
seems like how it goes. Because I played with like one other person, and then the third guy is usually the third rando is usually some sort of god champion superhero or an absolute burden.
I have never been paired with like a superstar. I always get paired with people that have no kills with whatever hero they're playing.
The little I've played, I know there was one match where like I think we went down into that populated area right away. 2 of us died, and the one guy like just cleaned up, picked up both of our flags, and revived both of us. I was just like,
Oh,
"Oh my
yes.
god!"
Thank you, hero.
So like Joed and I were playing last night, and so I don't know how much damage or general kills you guys get in your games, but like 1,000 damage for a game is pretty good. And I got 4 kills. I killed a squad by myself. Joe Wade got 1,000 damage. He got 4 kills. He also killed a squad by himself. And then our teammate did 0 damage, had 0 kills, and died twice. So like he was definitely the burden, but I had a lot of fun playing regardless. Do you have any heroes that you like to play specifically?
I mean, my main that I always choose if I can is Bloodhound. He is like a tracker that his passive is his coolest ability. It lets you see like a trail of where enemies have been. So as you're running through an area, if someone has been there within the last minute, you'll see a little icon that says, "Hey, someone opened this door," or "Someone slid down this hill or walked through this hallway in the last 40 seconds." So you can kind of know either if enemies are nearby, or like you can start to like even use that as intel to build like a story where you can see like, okay, on this side of the building they were here 40 seconds ago, and on that side of the building they were here 30 seconds ago. So I know that they ran from this side over to that side, so I know they're probably heading in this direction. Um, I think like it just gives you a lot of cool information that is uniquely valuable in a battle royale game. And then his active ability, which lets you just see people in a nearby proximity, is always going to be helpful. And his ultimate is really helpful for me because you move faster and you get like predator heat vision where everything goes gray except for enemy and their footprints go red. And that's nice because then in a firefight, it's like really easy to keep track of where the enemies are and who I'm shooting at. And I don't get like lost in all of the visual clutter of a busy firefight. So
Dude, it's also bananas how long it lasts. It's like
it
a
is
minute long.
it is a big boy. You can like pop it preemptively and like use the speed to like run around and behind enemies and flank them and still have some time left for the actual firefight.
It's one of the strongest ultimates sorry, that I can tell.
Yeah,
Yep.
it seemed like a lot of people play that guy or the like shadow lady.
Wraith.
Yeah.
Noah, who's your main?
I used to play a lot of Bangalore, or like I used to also play Bloodhound, but I started getting really good with Pathfinder. So like his ability is he can grapple to areas and zipline, or he can like all his abilities are awesome because they're on such a low cooldown. Like his grapple is 7 seconds or something, or like 10. It is a low cooldown, and you're so mobile, and you can climb walls that other people just cannot get to. And his passive is like it's whatever. Like there are areas in the map, like satellite uplinks or something, that you can hack into essentially, and it'll show you where the next circle will be, or like how that circle will shrink and where it will be, you know. But that's whatever. You just want to be in the circle at all times. And usually the only time you can get to those uplinks is at the very beginning, and you're like, that the circle isn't going to get that much smaller. We don't have a long way to go. And his ultimate, he creates a zip line. There are zip lines in the game naturally that you can take to get from building to building and area to area, but he gets to create his own zip lines. And I have gotten really good at using those at like just to get around and like okay, so I never thought about it, but at the character select screen it'll tell you like what they are, kind of. So like Pathfinder says forward scout. So what I started doing, because I read that, is I'm like, oh, I'll just jump ahead and then use a zip line to get all my homies up onto this roof. Or, like, it's so mobile and so powerful. And it's also the lowest cooldown ultimate, so you're always making zip lines and getting everywhere, like, whenever you need to.
I'll have to play with you because I like everything you say I believe, but in my experience, everyone that I've played with that is playing as Pathfinder either doesn't use their abilities enough, considering how low of a cooldown they're on, or they're playing Pathfinder because they want to do some crazy YouTube-y, like sick Tarzan swing around a building and get an aerial headshot, but then they just end up like dying trying to look cool. So I want to play with Noah, who is playing him sensibly.
Yeah, I'm not going for trick shots. But, like, there was a wall in the airbase. That's, like, okay, so I told you about how Joy and I played, and I got that sick team kill. We went to the airbase, and I, like, went up the wall, and I was waiting for my zipline to charge so I could bring all my friends with. And they started fighting by the doorway there. But since I was on top of the wall, I just stood on top of the wall shooting at the enemies and picking them off one by one. It was so good. And they can't get to you because they don't have a Pathfinder. I think he's really strong. Like, I I never thought about it, but he is so mobile and can get places where nobody else just can.
He does seem like he has. He seems like he has the highest maybe like skill cap required to make him good, or like you have to not be a like excited to get into every firefight you can type person to find value in him. But I can definitely see him being good.
Yeah, using him as the quote unquote forward scout that they tell you he is seems to be very good. And his zipline can go very far. Um, but also, there was a game last night where I played with Pat and Joade, and Pat and I were down, and I had a zipline go up to the top of this cliff because I was flanking people, and then I ended up dying. And then Joade found his way that way, and I was like, "Take my zipline; it'll give you like a sweet vantage point on them." And he jumped near the end of my zipline, and it made him fly right off the cliff, and he died.
Oh,
No, it was really funny. You had to be there. You have any favorite guns?
the Peacekeeper is the main one I lean towards. Beyond that, just no other shotgun, and maybe the Hemlock. I don't like to snipe. I'm not good enough at sniping on a controller, so I try to get either like the Hemlock or something that is automatic, like the Devastator or something. The
I don't know what the
Peacekeeper is so
Devastator
good, though.
is.
It's just an LMG. It's just like a big
Devotion?
Devotion. Yeah, sorry. Devastator's like a perfect dark gun. Devotion. But one of those. What about you?
Um, I like the R301 carbine. It
That's good.
has low recoil, so like when I do aim well, I generally hit a lot of shots.
That one is good.
And the wingman.
I'm not good enough with the wingman. I see the potential, and like I know that if you get like the special perk attachment for it, where headshots are super strong, that it's like really good. But I just end up missing and then dying while I'm reloading.
I feel like I'm most accurate with the wingman. Hello, Dan.
Hello, friends.
Dan was at work.
I sure was. I just got home.
Dan, what did you play this week? Because I assume Steve's done. Apex was probably his last one.
It is.
I played Final Fantasy XIV. That's pretty much it, because I've been pretty busy. So outside of that, I haven't really touched anything else, because I was really focused on getting my samurai. I was in the zone, you know? Like, you get to that point where you're just like, I'm gonna do this. And then that's all I did for like 3.
I haven't been in the zone since I was 14.
And because it was funny, because I was leveling my red mage, and I got it all the way to like just before hitting 69, and then I was like, my samurai hit 62 or something like that at the same time, and I was like, oh, this feels so much better. I'm just gonna keep playing this, and I did until I got it to 70, and then I quick switched back to my red mage for like a few minutes to do a couple dungeon runs and got it to 70, and then went back to my samurai and started doing raid stuff to get gear for.
Nice. I haven't played Samurai since Stormblood came out.
Oh yeah, I remember you were playing it a lot then, and then you just switched to what, Black Mage, right? Was what you were playing on?
I switched to Machinist and then Black Mage when I came back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, something about the rotation and everything just kind of like clicked with me, and I like it a lot. It's been fun to do the raid stuff and figure out like exactly when I need to use which cooldowns and stuff like that to be optimal.
That's something I liked about DPS classes and things that do that sort of thing. Like when to use, what is it, eye for an eye or something? No.
Eye for an Eye is the healer buff.
Yeah. Second eye or third eye or whatever it is?
Are you talking about the samurai buff, the defensive one?
Yes. I have no idea what it is,
Oh
but I think it
yeah.
has to do with eyes.
It gives you the open eyes buff when you use it. I don't remember what the actual skill is called. But yeah, and then you get that extra attack or heal proc if you use it at the right time.
Yeah, and then there's that ability that charges your Kenki gauge. So, like, you want to be using that
Yeah,
during
when you're
downtime.
Yep, I'm getting used to using that at the right times, and like I kind of like got the flow. I'm probably not doing the opener right. I need to look it up again. But I kind of got a flow that was working for me to use that one where you eat your uh, Sen charges to get a bunch of Kenki energy, and then
I don't
use
remember.
yeah, you use that, and then I use the third one to put the dot on, so I have all my high buffs up, and then use there's like that 2-minute cooldown that you use that hits really hard. And then just it's kind of a repetitive after that until your buffs start to fall off, or you need to like reset your gauge or something.
So you're still into 14, huh?
Yeah, I'm having a good time with it, even though it's pretty much me. But Scott's guild is they're active enough and they're pretty chatty, so it's kind of nice to have some people around. Not like before when we were playing where it was just like once you guys quit, there was nobody to talk to anymore because we were in a guild of like us.
Yeah. Um, I I'll play here and there, but it's very rare. And then Pat's been playing a lot of Apex Legends, so he hasn't been playing as
Oh,
much, I assume.
I don't count on you guys ever logging in until Shadowbringers comes out. To be
That's a safe bet.
yeah, I know how you guys operate.
I've done the things. I don't need to log in anymore.
Right.
But that's it. All you've
Uh,
played is Final Fantasy 14.
Pretty much. I mean, I still play. I tried out the new Another Eden mobile game for a little bit. Um, there's a character in it that looks like Frog from Chrono Trigger, and there's a side quest for him where you talk to a straw man with a nail through his chest to give you like whatever the frog guy had to do. And this is very reminiscent of Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross at the same time. And then you go to like it's a time travel game, and you go to the border of time or whatever they call it, and it's a tavern, and then it's on a brick road with pillars of light to go to the different time zones.
Oh,
Doesn't
good.
that sound from?
Jesus.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's as far as like mobile games go, it seems actually all right. The combat's pretty interesting for because it's basically just an RPG with there is some gacha element to it because you have to summon your people, but they give you I think we talked about it last time a little bit where they give you somebody when you start out that can be pretty solid. And then you can get pretty far just off of that alone, and then whatever you happen to pull because the currency handout for doing pulls is pretty low. But at the same time it's not super impactful if you don't get stuff unless you don't get a healer, which I still don't have one, so I'm probably going to suffer eventually. But so far I haven't needed one.
I only played that. I'm not even out of the first town yet. Like, I just tried a
Oh,
little bit of it, and I was like, yeah, I'll try this out later. And then I just never got back to it.
yeah. I mean, it's not anything, and it is a game where you kind of can do that. I noticed there's no like there's like one thing where it's like, oh, you gotta do it every day, or on a kind of a time limit, but there's no stamina to keep playing. there's nothing like that to keep getting through the story. You can just play. There's like hard dungeons that you can challenge that require like a daily refresh thing, that is basically a stamina thing. But you get three charges per day, I think it was, or something like that. I don't remember the refresh rate on them. I only did one, but it's a much higher experience and item gain, so you can craft better weapons and level your dudes faster. But yeah, it's something to like pass the time when I'm on break at work or something like that.
Like, it seems really good. Like, it looks very pretty. I just have not gotten to it.
Yeah, yeah, and like I'm just saying, you aren't really missing much by not getting to it immediately. At least it doesn't seem like there's anything to miss so far. So it's kind of neat. I've been watching a lot of Dota 2 tournaments lately. I've just been like in the mood for Dota 2, so I have that on my second monitor while I'm doing stuff in Final Fantasy. And it's kind of making me want to play some Dota, but at the same time I don't want to play by myself because I never play those kind of games by myself.
Pat would love to play with you, and so would Joe Aid.
You know, I've talked to Pat about it. I'm like, yeah, Pat, I kind of want to play some Dota. And he's like, great. And then he never says anything about it or invites me to play. And I never see him on, so I have a hard time trying to invite him to play.
I feel like Apex Legends is taking a lot of people hostage right now.
Oh, I know it is. And I just have zero interest in that game just because I don't like that type of game.
It's pretty
So,
good for what it
I'll wait
is.
till you guys get your fill, and then we'll play with whatever when you guys are done doing that.
Oh, I'm not playing Dota. You are on your own for that one.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant Pat and Joe.
The only MOBA I'm ever going to play is Heroes of the Storm, and that's going to be a while.
A dead game.
Yeah,
Not-
kinda.
It basically will be, especially after their announcement of saying, "Yep, we basically canned everybody that's working on it, so you can keep playing if you want, but we're just going to maintain it."
Like, there's still a lot to it. I just wish they had more maps or something before they did this.
Right.
Like, 2 to 5 more maps, I think would have done it for me. I think that would have been enough.
Yeah, I can certainly understand that. Some of the maps get old like really fast, like everybody's favorite tower map.
That is actually one of my favorites. Not even ironically. I like that map.
Yeah, I think it is my lowest win rate map by far. I don't know what it is about that map. It just every time I go on it, it's just a disaster. Could be that I'm just terrible at it, but
I don't know. It's just one of those different maps. Like, I don't like Warhead Junction because it's so big.
yeah, the smaller maps are definitely a little more intense. Like when I was playing a lot of League, I actually played more 3v3s than I did 5v5s. I liked the 3v3 map just because it was small and the meta was just so different than like the 5v5 meta. And it was also easier to find people to play with because you wouldn't need a whole 5-man team. You just need 3 people.
That's why Apex Legends is pretty good.
Yeah, because you just need your 3 people, right?
You don't need 4, and you don't get to. They don't have it so you can go alone yet. So there's no like weird
There's no,
anxiety
like,
there.
solo queue. Yeah. But what if I don't have any friends?
Then go solo like Steve. Steve doesn't have friends.
Just joins random group.
Honestly, are you talking Apex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like the ping system is so good that it doesn't matter. You don't have to talk to people. You can just ping stuff, and everything is context sensitive, and you'll always get like the point across. So playing solo is not a big deal at all.
That's kind of neat.
Got anything else?
I bought a wow, I'm totally brain farting right now. A Mahjong. So Dave and I might try to learn to play that. He also bought one at one point. Mine was a little more of an impulse purchase because the Japanese version of the Fate Extella Link game that came out in Japan a while ago was on sale on Amazon for like half off or more than half off. So it was like $70 or $80 for a full like legit Mahjong set, and then the game too, I guess. But I won't be able to play it because I can't.
Mahjong is in Final Fantasy 14.
I know it is. I've the one of the guys in Scott's Guild is like crazy about it. He plays a lot. I still haven't tried playing it yet in 14. But
I wasn't willing to learn it for Yakuza, and I'm not willing to learn it now.
oh man, that's part of the reason why Dave wants to learn how to play it. Well, actually, Dave already kind of knows how to play it because of Yakuza, but hearing him scream from the other room while the computer is kicking his ass was pretty fun.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah, I just kept hearing a lot of profanity flying out into my room from the couch while he was losing constantly for a while, and then he started to get the hang of things, and he managed to get the achievement for it. I don't remember if he ended up platinuming. I think he platinumed one of them. I don't know which one he platinumed, but he platinumed one of the Yakuza games. It might have been 0.
I can go for another Yakuza game real soon.
Have you played through all the current ones?
Nope. I've only played Kiwami and Kiwami 2, so I still have 0 and
okay.
like
0 and then
6
3
and
through...
then all the like ones that are out on the.
I have
PS3.
6 sitting on my shelf because I need to play that, and I also downloaded Kiwami when it was a PSN game, so I'll get around to it eventually when I have.
Kiwami is so good.
Yeah, watching him play them, I was kind of pumped to go play them, but also watching him play them, I'm like, man, there's a lot of crap to do in that game, and I don't know if I want to sit down and do that right.
Alright, you mind if I go and share my exciting video games?
Oh wow, I'm surprised you haven't gone yet. I feel like you already had.
I went 50%, so...
I think that's everything.
No, you shut up. The most important meal of the day is coming up.
Okay, I'm only going to give you 37 minutes and 15 seconds to talk about this next game.
Shit, 37 minutes. So... I played a lot of Apex Legends. That game is a lot of fun and generally what I want to spend most of my time on. But I've been keeping really busy because after my 8 hours of work are up and I get to come home and be a free man, I have been streaming on twitch.tv/Nornsy speedruns of The Messenger. Sorry, I had to cough. And those usually take up 2 to 4 hours of my nights. And that game's really good. And I haven't beaten it yet, but doing the speedruns makes me really happy. And streaming makes me really happy. And I'm glad that people show up and talk to me.
It is very fun to watch you stream. And I am not saying that to trick people into watching your stream, and I'm not saying that because you're my friend. Obviously, like, you're my friend, so it helps to chat with you. But I am legitimately interested to watch those speedruns. They are fun to watch.
Dude, thank you. I am happy whenever anybody says anything in my chat channel. Like, I've had a maximum of 8 viewers at one time, which is not a lot, but definitely it's enough. And I've talked to some people I would have never talked to, like some guy asked me if you could use a controller to play the PC version of the game, and I was happily saying, yes, you can. And the guy who's in most third place, he's in third place in most categories, showed up and wished me luck and gave me a GG at the end of my personal best. Oh, just good feelings, man. And I don't know, this is the first game, the first legitimate speedrun that I've learned, where I wasn't super attached to the game. So I guess I should backtrack. This last weekend, the weekend of the 16th and 17th, the speedrunner named Golden hosts something he calls the 12-hour challenge, which over the course of that weekend, you spend 12 hours learning how to speedrun a game you've never run before, and then you do a run at the end and you see what you get. I was in the middle of playing The Messenger, and the game saved weird and would not stop saving for a long time. So I ended up force closing the game, and it lost all my progress as I thought it would. But I had to try because I'm not going to sit there forever while it saves. And I was like, you know what? 12-hour challenge happens. Because, I had just heard of it. I know it exists, but I had not heard of it coming up. I don't know when it is. And then, a couple days after that happened, I heard it. And I was like, you know what? I'll learn the Messenger. And so I spent 12 hours, or 10 I guess, learning the Messenger 8-bit, no out of bounds, new game, which is a 30 to 40 minute speedrun if you have any sense of what you're doing. But first I started off with a run. It was an hour and 22 minutes, not good. And so after that weekend, I got it down to 42 or something, which was really nice. And I just didn't want to stop streaming, so I come home from work, I eat or drink something, and then I just start a stream. And then I stream me practicing and doing runs and usually talking to Steve and Leah. What was that, Dan?
Said it sounds like you were in the zone.
Sort of. Yeah, it's weird because the reason I never streamed is because my internet was really bad. But I find it super interesting to be able to stream on my laptop over Wi-Fi and get no dropped frames, 60
impressive.
frames per second. It's nice. So I just come home and I stream for 2 or 3 hours, and then I play Apex for 2 or 3 hours with my friends, and then I go to bed and wake up and do it all over again.
What a life.
It's not bad right now. I am way into speedrunning that game right now. It is what I think about while at work. I
6 strats.
Yeah, I watch videos while at work to see how I can improve my time. And I don't know if Steve has seen, but changing the language does it. There's the Ruxton quick kill if he goes to the top. I learned a new strat for certain areas. I spent 2 hours yesterday just practicing stuff to get better at it. And Steve was like, you gotta do a run because we're not gonna be friends if you don't do a run. So I eventually did one. It did not finish, but it was good to try.
I mean, do a run. It's I understand the desire to practice, but what you had to remember is that I was playing ITG all day, and I had just gotten out of the shower and sat down on the couch and settled in to watch some Noah, and then Leah was like, he's finishing practicing this last area and then he's gonna go. And I was like, no, I just sat down. He needs to do a run. Do a run, get a new PB, and then you can go to bed or play Apex or whatever it is you want to do. It's not my problem. But you did one, and it was a fun run to watch, even though it died halfway through.
I died in a weird spot I don't think I would normally die at, too.
Yeah, well, you've died in that one particular spot before, but it was still uncharacteristic of you. Like, you made it past what is typically like the measure of whether or not you're going to have a run that makes it all the way through. Like, you got past the cutoff point, and then just died shortly after.
Yeah, you gotta not die, and you have to have enough money by a certain point in the run, otherwise it doesn't finish.
Once you have that little like wombat floating ability, then it's a run.
Yeah, then it generally finishes.
Yep.
But I'm finding it to be a lot of fun. I'm not nervous really streaming. I get more nervous when I have an actual run going and I'm not dying and it's fast.
That's awesome. I don't know, man. I'm real tempted to try to get competitive with you.
It would be cool, man. I'm way into it right now, specifically. I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow, but it probably won't be a lot of the messenger. I think I might end up finishing it, but I don't think I'm gonna stream a lot of speedruns. But I'll probably stream a little bit of it.
What are you going to be streaming?
I'm not sure yet. I might try to stream Hollow Knight, or
I would
Crosscode.
watch a Hollow Knight stream.
I never finished Hollow Knight, so like, I don't know. I think it'd be a fun like casual Friday stream, but
I also
also
never
it's gonna be
finished
hard to not speedrun. You know.
Mm-hmm. Dude, look at you streaming.
I
Dude.
know.
2019 is the year of internet content, boys. Boys putting out content to the web.
That's so true.
What a good year.
But I don't remember what I was gonna say. Dan, what did you just say? Because like I was talking over you.
I said I also never finished Hollow Knight. I got to the end of like where you would get the first ending, I think, or I was about to pass that or hit like a break point where, because I kind of was like, is there anything that I can miss with the endings? As I was getting close, and someone was like, yeah, if you do this one thing, then you screw up like not being able to get the original ending, and you'd have to play over from scratch instead of being able to just like reset and play like continue after you beat it. So I was like, oh, I guess I should probably get that, and then something came out or something happened or I just like stopped playing it altogether, even though I was playing it straight for a couple days. I was like, oh, well, I'll get back to it eventually.
I did that too. Like I played a bit of it and I just would not stop. I'd play it every night. This was when I was making my Let's Plays, and then I just stopped for some reason.
It happens. It happens to the best.
Yeah, I need to get back to it. It's a really good game.
Yeah, and the new expansion is coming out soon, I think. The final one. Is it?
Wait, there are expansions for Hollow Knight?
Well, they're like patches or whatever that add more bosses and stuff. They're all free, so you already have all.
Yeah, if you... They were all free and they're all like automatically downloaded, so if you're just starting a new game of Hollow Knight, you'll like not even know what is and isn't the bonus stuff that was added later. It all just like blends together.
I only knew because Dave told me one of the things, like the fire, the circus tent thing that shows up eventually is a extra content like DLC.
And I don't think I saw that because I played it like after, I think it was after the second one, or maybe it was after the first one before the second one. But they just announced the sequel to Hollow Knight, and I am pumped. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Or maybe that's what they announced then. Like, there's something coming to Switch before it soon, right? Was that the sequel?
Or
Or was that the final DLC?
Well, the sequel is the one where you play as the girl. You play as I forget her name. but like the
Yeah, I know
female
who you're talking
that you
about.
fight against
Yeah.
a couple times, and its name is Silk Song, I think. Um,
Oh, okay.
and I think
Maybe
it
that's what I
started
was
as a
thinking of.
DLC, but they said it ballooned too big, and so they're just making it a
Oh,
sequel. So it's going to be its own standalone game, like its own town, all new everything. So, um, like it's going to be a sequel in the way that like since it was an expansion, it is very much more of the same. But I'm pumped because Hollow Knight is one of the best
interesting.
games ever. It's so good. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, yeah, boy.
So yeah, I might stream Hollow Knight. I don't know. Um, I just want to say The Messenger might be the best speed game of all time. Just throwing that out there.
I remember seeing it at PAX and
Huh.
I was interested in it, but I didn't end up buying it yet. I think it's on my wish list right now.
Do you find that surprising, Steve?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. He cut out. What did you say?
I said, do you find that surprising? That I think it's the best speed game?
No, not at all. Like I think you can make a strong case for that being true. Like it depends on what you look for in a speed game. If you're someone that like a speedrunning game is defined by a ton of glitches and like weird bugs that look interesting, and like save off unconventional or save a bunch of time in an unconventional way, it's not that. But in terms of like a game that is really good to learn, seems really easy to practice, and like rewards what you do well without really punishing you for your mistakes. Like you have a lot of recovery options outside of if you die in the first half of the run. Um, it seems like, I mean, it's that perfect blend of easy to get into, but a high skill cap, right? And that's like exactly what you want from a good speed game. Plus, it just like looks good in motion.
There's that. Plus, like all the movement is really tight and very, very nice, and all the it seems like all the enemy placement lends itself very well to like being able to jump over them or use them to traverse items or like terrain. I mean, um, so something you can get in the messenger or like what you start with, and the first thing they teach you is if you're in the air and you attack something, you get a double jump. So like you're gonna use a lot of enemies to double jump and like climb places higher, and you use that a lot in the run. Another thing I like about the messenger in terms of being a speed game is so like there are four main categories for the game, each with subcategories. Like there's 8-bit, which is the thing I do, and that's like 30 to 40 minutes. And then there's linear, which does all the linear stuff, which some of the 8-bit stuff bleeds into the 16-bit, and that's like 55 minutes. And then there's any percent, which is like 2 hours, and then 100%, which is like almost 3 or something. I don't know the proper times for the last two. But like, there's a length of speedrun for you somewhere in there. Like, one of those things you're going to want to do. And I just think that's cool. Like, outside of like a 2-minute meme category, like it has all the lengths of a speedrun you want, and they all look good.
And like very minimal random elements, but like some, and I'm the type of person that I actually don't hate a little bit of randomness in a speedrun that I do. I like the like thrill of seeing whether or not I'll get the good luck, and I like knowing that if I got bad luck and still get a PB, that I have that opportunity to save more time later. Um, and the messenger is like 98% skill, and then just like the teeniest bit of luck in a very healthy way.
Yeah, outside of like going for world record times, like your RNG doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, like across the entire run, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe 15 seconds, 20 seconds of total RNG, and it's mostly on like
No. So,
Oh no, I guess there are later bosses that I'm not thinking about, like
did you not see
especially.
me practice yesterday? I practiced High Rustin, or Ruxton, not Rustin.
No, I didn't remember. I didn't watch you yesterday.
Okay. So, the second boss, which is the Necromancer guy who, the boss of the catacombs, if he goes to the top platform, you can use his rain to, like, hit him, and you can kill him before he even touches the ground. Like, he dies in, like, 10 seconds versus the minute or two it takes me to normally kill him. So that's, like, a huge time save, and maybe I will stream a little bit tonight so you can see it if you're awake. I don't know. I forgot we had a date for Tetris 99.
Yay, man! Yeah, man.
But like outside of that, there's like one enemy that's random, and it appears in like 3 or 4 rooms in the game, or at least in that run that I do. Everything else is like predetermined and cycle based, and like if you don't get the right cycle, you can just leave the room and come back and try again.
Are the bosses literally the only random elements?
Uh, I think only Ruxton is random, cause the
What about the two guys, the red and the green guy?
oh, I guess they're random too, but I think like no matter what luck I seem to get, I always kill them very fast.
And I mean, it is a minor thing, but isn't which one of the two hands that the golem lifts up random? Although I guess you can do that thing where you stand on the outside and throw a shuriken, so it shouldn't matter.
Wait, what do you mean
The crystal
mountain thing?
golem?
Nope, he always lifts his right or his left, but on the screen the right one first, and then the left one second.
Oh, okay.
As long as you two cycle him. Listen to these speed words, fast gamers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you're interested in watching the Messenger speedruns, twitch.tv/Nornsy.
You should check it out. They're fun.
I uploaded my PB to Facebook so people could see it. It was very good, and I'm happy with it. But I think that's about it for what I've been playing. I've just been having a good time streaming and playing Apex Legends, and it's fun talking to people.
It's a good time for games, that's for sure.
Sounds pretty social for you, which is cool.
It's not super social, because like usually the only people who show up are Steve and Leah, and then like a couple of randos here and there that don't talk.
It's. You said there was like that one guy who's like a runner who came in and like
Yeah,
kind of complimented you, right? That's cool.
that was super nice of him. I can't assume anything considering speedrunners don't get the big views like the Lyric and the other guys, but like I assume he has a thing to do. I think he's got better things to do than watch somebody with 2 viewers go for a mediocre time in a video game. So I think it was super nice of him to do that. Like drop in and wish somebody who isn't that good some luck. Shout outs to Kodran, or Kodran. Kodran? Whatever his name is.
I don't remember. Cadran, I think.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, that's it for my games and what I've been doing. Is there anything else you guys really wanted to talk about? Like, I know Reggie stepped down as president from Nintendo.
Yeah, now Bowser's the president.
I mean, how are you going to have a president named Bowser? That's what a meme. I mean, it is. Oh, I'm not going to say I'm sad about it, but like, I did enjoy watching Reggie as the president, and I thought he was like a very interesting person in all the presentations he gave. Like, he always had this like weird air of formality, but like kind of seemed like he was cool. Like, you couldn't really tell if he's cool or if he's uptight. If
Like
he's a
they were trying to
narc.
keep him on a leash, but he'd still get into the yard sometimes.
Yeah, like you can't tell if he's gonna like. Is Reggie gonna shoplift with you, or is Reggie gonna narc on you? You're not sure. He's one of the two. So it'll be a bummer to see him go, but I hope that the new guy can do well. Between Reggie stepping down and a couple years ago when Iwata passed away, Nintendo's front line has a lot of catching up to do.
Like, I don't actually know anything about Bowser, but is he good? Because, like, Reggie in his, like, video was like, oh, he's very popular with, like, you guys know him, and he's got good connections with the Japanese side of things, but it's like, I don't actually know him.
I don't think that we really do know him very much. I think we'll need to get to know him. Did anybody watch the Nintendo Direct?
I did not. All I,
I
did
didn't.
was read some like write up stuff on what it was in it. I mean, the only thing I really cared about was that there was actually a Fire Emblem release date.
Yes. What was the release date?
July 26th or 24th, I want to say.
I tried to click on it just now to figure out the release date, and it pulled up a video of a woman moaning. So that's no bueno. Yeah, so Fire Emblem Three Houses release date, and they showed like a bunch of footage and stuff from it.
Yeah, it's. I'm
going to be honest. I'm skeptical because I don't like typically the like military school setting
like
for
Final Fantasy Type 0
anime games, like Type 0 or Valkyria Chronicles 2.
Well, I mean, any Valkyria Chronicles, like they're all military.
Well, the first one was military, but the second one was very specifically like a
They were
military school. Like,
yeah, the first one was a militia.
yeah,
And yeah, I get.
I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine, but like that particular setting, I was like, I don't know.
Well, some people are predicting there will be like 2 acts to it, where like the first part is where it's like all the school nonsense, and then like, oh no, big event happens, and now we all have to band together, and it's like normal Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that's kind of my hope. But I mean, I'll obviously buy it right when it comes out, and I'll play it. So.
Oh, I got that pre-ordered all.
Sorry, I didn't hear Nick. Noah, did you guys see the direct or no?
I did not.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, good. Then most of these will be news to you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. So, I mean, one of the other like bigger things that they featured a lot of was Dragon Quest XI is coming to the Switch. A new version called Dragon Quest XI
Definitive Edition.
It's like Definitive Edition S for Switch, and it has the orchestral soundtrack that didn't come over in the PS4 version. I think it has some new content, but the big thing that it has is the 2D mode from the Japanese version, so you can play the entire game as like a 2D 16-bit style RPG.
Dude, I might end up buying Dragon Quest XI again.
I told myself
I might
I wasn't gonna do it.
I'm like wondering, even though I played the first one for a long time, I didn't beat it. So like, I'm wondering if I'll rebuy it and replay it on the Switch, because
I don't believe
that 2D mode seems pretty good. What? You don't know me. Get off my back, Dad.
I think I know you pretty.
Well, you think just because you're my friend, you can tell me what games I probably won't play? Oh, no, we can't all be heroes like you did. So yeah, that'll be good. I don't know if they announced when that's coming out. No. But looking forward to the definitive edition. I don't think we're going in order of what they announced. Maybe this is in the
I
order.
don't think we are either, but like I said, I
Um,
didn't really watch it.
they announced Mario Maker 2. No, we're not, because this is the first thing they announced. So, more Mario Maker?
I'm aware of that, but I never saw the direct.
Yeah, so looks like more Mario Maker. I think like you can create slopes. You can like define pathing for enemies and platforms, and it looks like they're adding like the a new tile set, like the 3D world, whatever game the Mario from the cat suit was from. I know the cat suit was in the first game, but I think like
Mario Bros.
that
U,
universe
I
is in it
think.
now. So
They
that's
are
cool.
bringing in the
I didn't
sun
get
from
that
Mario
into it.
3.
Oh yeah, the sun.
Oh
Ugh,
gosh.
horrifying. I can't handle it. I refuse to play any custom level that has the sun in it. I didn't make a lot of levels in Mario Maker, but I did enjoy playing custom levels. So I don't know if that's like a day one purchase for me, but it's cool. I'm happy to see it. They announced Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. They just like announced new gameplay and stuff. I don't know. I never played Ultimate Alliance. I don't know if anybody else has.
I have no interest.
Yeah. Uh, Box Boy and Box Girl announced. So this is the three Box Boy games that came out on 3DS as downloads are getting released on the Switch. And those games are really good. And Box Boy and Box Girl is going to be co-op, so Leah and I will definitely be buying and playing that as soon as it comes out. I really like Box Boy. Very cute platformer.
Before you continue, remind me, when does Super Meat Boy Forever come out? March or April?
I don't know actually. Is it that soon?
It's very soon. It is
Oh
almost.
man,
It's almost here.
dude, I'll be buying that instantly. April. Wow, yeah, April. Nice. So good. Um, so back to the direct, they announced DLC for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if it'll get me to go back to the game, but maybe at some point I'll pick that up. The Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is just a treat. I love that game. Bloodstained got a release window, so it's coming out in summer of this year. Bloodstained, woo!
Finally.
I'll believe it when I see it. If I'm being honest, the gameplay footage they showed in the direct did not wow me. I have a suspicion that Bloodstained is going to be a letdown.
I mean, I got the beta invite code from a friend of mine because he didn't want it, and I played through it. And other than like some of the audio was a little weird, I thought it played for like a standard Castlevania.
Yeah, it just seems like everything I've seen makes it look just like extremely average. Like it doesn't jump out at me ever. But we'll see. I haven't played it. I'll reserve like full judgment until I play it. They showed some Dragon Quest Builders 2 for Noah.
Yes. Do we know when it has? Do we know when it releases in America?
Let's see. Dragon Quest Builders 2 US release date. July 12th, 2019.
And this one is co-op too, right? This one has co-op in it?
It does. Includes co-op play. You and I should play that together.
God, I would love nothing more.
That would be like a gamer weekendy. We should plan a gamer weekend around the release of that game.
I think you just did.
I think I just did too. All right. Sounds good. A couple things we don't care about. Rune Factory 4 is getting ported to the Switch. I never played it. A little more around Yoshi's Crafted World. They stealth dropped Tetris 99, like I said. Dead by Daylight is coming. It's a game that I didn't really care about. They announced a new game from Tokyo RPG Factory, the I Am Setsuna and Lost Sphere people, a new game called Oninaki, which looks like it's mostly going to be more of that studio style. They didn't show a lot of like the actual gameplay, but yeah, it's looks kind of like an action RPG from the people that made I Am Setsuna. So I Am Setsuna was good. Lost Sphere didn't do quite as much for me, but I like those games enough to keep giving that studio a chance. So we'll see when it comes out. Deltarune is coming to the Switch on the 28th. That's the like chapter 1 of the follow-up to Undertale, so that's really cool. I haven't played Deltarune yet, so in a week that'll be coming out. I'll definitely play that.
I never finished Undertale, and I have no intention of playing Deltarune.
Not an Undertale fan?
No, I was an Undertale fan. It's just, well, don't say that. I am not an Undertale fan. I liked the game.
I mean, okay. I assume that we're all in or around our 30s, so like we can speak like adults about whether or not you liked Undertale.
I liked it, but I did not join the fandom, I should say.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess the difference between a fan and in the fandom. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I like Undertale a lot, and I've been looking forward to that. But the two biggest games that they announced, one is a new game coming out from Platinum Games called Astral Chain, which looks like a Platinum action combat game where you play as like cyber cops that are chained together. I mean, it has a cool style, and I'm like in for whatever Platinum wants to release. So I'm always down to try out a new Platinum game. So I'll definitely check that out whenever it comes. I think it's supposed to come out this year, so Astral Chain will be dope. But the big release, the one that I'm most excited for, is they're remaking Link's Awakening.
Oh, I saw
bringing
that.
out
It
to
looks
the Switch.
It looks nice.
It looks good. And Link's Awakening was my first Zelda game ever. So I am pumped to dig into that one. It's going to be
Did
good.
they announce anything other than the fact that they're working on it?
Like in terms of release date or anything?
Yeah, were they like, oh, coming probably in 2020?
I don't think so. No, it's coming in 2019. It is a 2019 release. It'll probably be like a November release for them, and it's a full retail game. I think it came out that it's a $60 game, so it's probably going to be their big title for this holiday season. But it's got a cool like toy boxy looking art style that I'm into, and I think that game, like, that game deserves a remake. That game is good. So I am very pumped for the Link's Awakening remake. And that's all. That was the direct. I just think this was there's a couple other things I didn't mention, but I just think this was a really good direct. Like, I watched it and I was just smile on my face the whole time. A lot of cool announcements. Good blend of stuff.
I agree. Outside of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, all sounds like stuff I might like or enjoy.
Yeah, it's like it's either stuff that is cool or stuff that is cool but just that I know isn't for me. Like, there's nothing in there that was like, oh, that's dumb.
Was it like all Switch stuff, or were there like any 3DS?
Nope, it was all
Pretty
switched
sure
up.
the 3DS is dead.
It's dead.
Yeah, I think right now
Other than,
Persona
like, third-party
Q2
stuff.
is the only game that is still physically announced to come out. Like, I think that's the only physical release left. And then it might just be done. So 3DS is about to go the way of the dodo.
Had to happen eventually.
It had a good run. I wonder if Nintendo. I mean, this would be a whole discussion for another podcast, but I wonder if Nintendo decides to release another handheld or if they just consolidate down to only the Switch. Not sure.
Yeah, I thought they had initially mentioned. I mean, we'll get into it like you said later, but I thought they had mentioned that the Switch was supposed to replace it.
Yeah, it's just weird that they would. They've always had a handheld and a console. It's weird that they would finally be down to just one. But I mean, you can focus all your development efforts on one system. You should have more releases that way. So
Yeah.
probably not a big deal.
Very true.
And it is a console and a handheld, so
Yep. Sell less hardware, but you make hardware or software development easier. So interesting to see where they go. Should be cool. Well, that's all. You got anything else for us, Noah? Our fearless leader? Oh,
No, I think we lost him,
Yeah.
boys.
he abandoned us. Wow. Okay, we can all take this time to say our least favorite thing about Noah. Nick, why don't you go first?
Oh, my least favorite thing about Noah? Oh my gosh. Seems kind of rude.
He seems rude. Is that your thing? That's a good one.
He's still gonna hear us.
That's okay.
I think the thing I hate the most about Noah is that he is good at speedrunning the messenger, but he hasn't taught me how to do it directly. I learned indirectly from watching him, but I'd like to learn directly.
Real close.
Yep.
You want him to take you under his wing?
Mm-hmm. While we wait for Noah here, Dan, as we round out this podcast, I'm going to send a link into the group chat. I want you to take a look at it. I had a lot of fun making it. I made this makes for great radio, but I made a timeline of all of the games that I played like over my life that were like significant chunks of time or that like got played a lot or meant a lot to me for various reasons. And it's interesting to lay out like what games you were really into and for how long. You start to see weird patterns that you wouldn't have picked up on. Like, obviously, I know people can't see my list, but I'm not much of a PC player, and yet there were a surprising number of PC games. I mean, a lot of them ended up being Blizzard games, but there were a decent amount of PC games. And like, it's interesting you can like see the chunk of games in the middle that are mostly Nintendo 64 games when I was playing like Zelda and Mario and GoldenEye. And then like gets later and you see when I was playing 360 games. And then like the modern era where the only games that I consistently play are In the Groove and Pokemon Go and Beat Saber.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was very fun to make. It was inspired by another friend of mine made one. Because his was much easier to do. It was very much like these are the only 20 games that I ever really cared about. And here's when they were significant.
I thought we were talking about Tyler for a minute there.
No. Tyler's...
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to look at. I bet a gigantic chunk of mine would definitely be World of Warcraft.
I would love to see yours. If anyone's motivated to make one of their own and share it with me, I'd be happy to see it.
I definitely have the motivation.
I would love to see yours, Noah. I think it is very fun. Like, also it just got me nostalgic because I was thinking back and I was like, man, I did used to play a lot of Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. Like, there was a couple years where I was playing that a lot. And Nick can look back on it and he can see the sliver of when we were in high school and all that Stepmania I was playing.
Oof. You played a lot of Stepmania.
Nick loves some Stepmania. I know he does.
Go over to Steve's house. Get there, he's playing Stepmania. You leave in the morning, he's still playing Stepmania.
It's a good game. Hard to beat it. But anyways, I would love for each of you to make your own. I would love to see it if you're motivated. Other than that, Noah, you take us out. Say goodbye to the people.
So before we actually say goodbye, there was something we were gonna do on the next podcast before everything went kablooey. We were gonna talk about like a list of our most nostalgic gaming memories, right? I don't think we ever did that.
That sounds right. And
I don't think we ever did. I made a timeline of all the games that were significant to me, so I'm in the
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
that reminded me about that.
Ah,
So, next podcast, we're going to go over some of our most nostalgic memories in video gaming. Like,
horrific.
Christmas will probably show up at some point.
it definitely shows up on mine.
But, like, any nostalgic times that we had, whether they're even recent, I guess, which doesn't seem nostalgic, but, like, I'm thinking about Monster Hunter World, and, like...
I'm nostalgic about things that happened, like, only a year ago. For sure.
Good. And if you're listening, feel free to let us know certain nostalgic memories you had in the comments or whatever, or you can contact us via website at where, Nick?
It's at www.thebideo.com.
Thebideo.com. But this was the video, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Thank you so much for listening.
Goodbye.